same as Henry, and bringing on a younger player in Michael Rice. And as you say, maybe a timely reminder just to buck up a little bit. There's Rice straight away into the thick of the action, down as far as Richie Power. Nicely off. Here he is, Michael Rice. Great block, well done by Owen Cadigan. Comes back to him again, however. Fancying his chances the second time. Well, went nowhere with that. It's a poor ball, and it's given away, and Cork can now burst out with Ben O'Connor. Jerry O'Connor, his twin brother, couldn't quite link up with him. In came Michael Fennelly. Jerry getting it forward to Pat Horgan. 3 Kilkenny players around him. They're refusing to take the foot off the gas at the back anyway, making it very, very difficult for the young Glen Rovers player to get it in towards Michael Cusson. Back towards Horgan once again. Onto his left-hand side, a great strike, and it's gone over the bar. He's having a very good second half. Well, if he has confidence in himself, he can do an immense amount on the field out there. He's a very talented young player. Showed it again here as Cusson played it back into him, off his left and beautifully over. Cork's 11th score.
Yeah, and credit Cork in the last 10 minutes, they really, they stayed going, and Pat Horgan in particular, he epitomises that spirit. He was, I'd say, very disappointed to be dropped against Antrim the last day, having a fine game, and John Gardner also having a very good second half.
Well, they've had a penalty stopped. If that had gone in, it would have been an interesting position. Mind you, Kilkenny are still so far ahead, in front of an attendance of 41,060 people here. Comerford comes across. And again, the striking is good. 2 points now for Martin Comerford, point in each match, or point in each half, I should say. And John Mulhall becomes the next man in. Number 27.
Yeah, just the last 2 points Kilkenny have got, they've been straight after Cork scores. You just get the feeling that the sense, they have to maybe lift it again a little bit, and they were able to respond straight away.
So the Kilkenny captain goes, TJ Reid. John Mulhall comes on, and John in the green and red helmet there.
And I've seen a lot of him, over the last couple of years at under 21 level. A very, very good player, tough as nails, as the way the Kilkenny forwards are, and a great battler. And I think we're going to see a lot of him over the next few years.
Some 3 or 4 matches in the league this year. He was absolutely brilliant, star of the league campaign, really. And it wasn't a great campaign for Kilkenny, it must be said, as Richie Power sees that one come back to him. Again taking it through, again knocking it in, stopped by the goalkeeper, and Donald Cusack does well, sun in his eyes, steadies himself, and from 20 metres out from his own goal, drops it now some 30 metres out from the Kilkenny goal, trying to spark the Cork forwards into life. But John Dalton, cool as you like, comes across here and away down the field again. 14 minutes left in the semi-final. Here's Shane Murphy, 26-year-old from Erin's Own. Line ball to Kilkenny.
Blocking and hooking again there, but John Dalton, super player at cornerback. There's Richie Power going through. Donlow again. One thing about Donlow, he stands up, he doesn't go to ground too early. Watch him there, he stays on his feet.
I think Richie just mishit that.
He mishit it as well, but good goalkeeping at the same time. But John Dalton, I remember as a minor, he was a brilliant full-back. Brian Cody thought at that stage he'd be the successor to Noel Hickey, and it's taken him a few years to break onto the team, replacing the great Michael Kavanagh, but he's turned out to be a big, huge asset, a fresh player again this year at cornerback.
Just as he's had to take his time to replace Michael Kavanagh, who incidentally has a finger injury at the moment, as I was speaking to him before the game, in the same way, they're not rushing John Mulhall. It's the Cody way of doing things.
But they don't have to rush them. They've brought TJ Reid along slowly. They're bringing Richie Hogan along, even he was in last year, he's out this year. But that's the way that, you're really 23, 24, I think, before you can break onto this Kilkenny team now. They're not rushing any young players.
So Richie Power, he's 24. 20 metres out, no need to go for a goal here. Taps it up high, gets his 7th of the day. It's a very good individual tally, and there are 14 points between these teams, and that man will be looking forward, I'm sure, to getting his tickets for the All-Ireland final. What is it, some 4 weeks from now. Kilkenny will be there. Cork will have to go back to the rebuilding process. Sean O'Halpine towards William Egan, who will hope to be part of that building process. Ronan Curran. Jerry O'Connor now He's been a great player over the years. Hurler of the Year back in 2005. Cosson couldn't take it down. John Dalton can. Just been talking about him. Tidy and economical, gets it out there. Back into Jerry O'Connor again here, taking on the backs. Foot went out to stop him and bring him down. Free into Cork.
Yeah, Jerry O'Connor has made a bit of an impact.
So a yellow card there was dished out to James Ryle. As Ben O'Connor strikes and makes absolutely sure. Another white flag. His 5 points all coming from frees.
Sorry, Jerry, I think that makes it 7 points all in the second half. You know, much more even, but you'd have to say Kilkenny really have taken the foot off the pedal. They're just, you know, they tend to respond to a Cork score with a point themselves, but, you know, they're just walking around the place in most positions now, taking it. I don't think anyone wants to pick up an injury now or anything like that with the final coming up in a few weeks' time. But still, the likes of John Mulhall, that, you know, he'd like him to make an impression. So
Graham Callanan coming on there for just his 4th championship match, coming on in place of Tom Kenny. Cork have replaced their 2 midfielders in the course of this match. Ooh, that was a high challenge there on John Mulhall. Free in. Referee will have some words. I think it was Graham Callanan who caught him. It was. First piece of action since being introduced. So, straight into the action. Card straight away. Richie Power, this time just inside the 65-metre line. As you can see, 10 minutes still to go. And another one for the young player from Carrickshop.
You know, this is great for his confidence. You know, we don't know obviously the status of Henry Shefflin's injury, but you know, if he's not starting the All-Ireland final, Richie Power will obviously be taking the frees, and it's great to be up in Croke Park in All-Ireland semi-final, and he's after scoring 6 out of 6 since he took over.
William Egan knocking it in diagonally towards Pat Horgan, Cork's brightest attacker, certainly in the second half with his 4 points. Haven't got anything really anywhere else. Don't think Paddy O'Sullivan's got a ball. Michael Fennelly from 65 metres has a go. Again, Donald O'Cusack. Well, he's 33 years of age now, but goalkeepers can keep on going for quite a number of years, so I'm sure he'll be still #1 when we get into 2011. I think Van der Sar for Manchester United is heading towards his 40th year. John Gardner. Good shot.
He didn't get too many hurdles broken off him over the years.
John Gardner with a 2nd point in this second half. So 220 to 13 points.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people, John Gardner is a super midfielder. He can do that, you know, he can knock over 3 or 4 points in the game. And Owen Larkin, though, you know, I think he's only scored maybe 1 point, but he's been on the ball an awful lot and very, very strong, creating a lot of stuff.
John Gardner's only 27 years of age. I know he seems like he's been around for
a huge amount of hurling.
Oh, he has, of course. But there's still a lot in him. And there's still a lot more in this. And that's another one. Back of the net for Richie Power. A goal and 8 points. The 5th time he's ever scored in the championship. And Kilkenny have simply romped past Cork in the All-Ireland semi-final. Great hands, great finishing. Kilkenny 320, Cork 13 points. The gap is alarming. Yeah. 16 between them.
And from the first minute, you know, I just thought Richie Power looked to have far too much hurling for Owen Cadigan, and that goal sums it up. Brilliant finish, brilliant catch, and you know, this is again the Richie Power. You know, really, the last couple of years he's had a lot of injuries, and you know, I think we all identified him as maybe the key man, key young player on this Kilkenny team, and today he's really stamped his mark on the team.
Well, Kilkenny now ready to make another change. Derek Ling comes in. He's the 5th and final substitute. Well, a man who played at midfield in last year's All-Ireland final comes on in place of Cha Fitzpatrick. What a panel of players. What a standing ovation for Cha Fitzpatrick. They'd give it to each and every one of the 15 starting this afternoon if they could. Stars everywhere and anywhere. Like,
one thing you'll know with the Kilkenny public, they know they're hurling, and Cha had a fantastic game today, has been out of the team, would be one of the most popular members of the panel and the team down in Kilkenny, and just with Rice and Fenley in the form, and he couldn't make it, but he's going to stake a strong claim now for the final of the Super game today. And look at Derek Ling coming on, man with a